Hello, so the question is regarding your um, passion, drive, regarding your art career. You're an aspiring artist, you've had some achievements, but you haven't really experienced much progress recently. And so you'd like to know about the energies surrounding this particular matter, where you should look for answers. Is there anything that you are not noticing? Okay, so with that said, clear messages for the client regarding her aspiring career as an artist, blind spots that she may have, energies that surround this matter. We've got the World, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, Knight of Wands in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Six of Swords, Ace of Cups in reverse, got Strength in reverse, okay. So in the present, you've got the World. The World can signify so many things. I think your art definitely does inspire you, makes you feel connected to the world in some way, or as if you're on top of the world. You know, the achievements will also make you feel this way. The World also speaks to cycles, however, so you could be coming out of a cycle and moving into something new, or you could be moving towards the end of something. I don't know how long you've been in this more stagnant type of state, but what I'm seeing here is a lot of cards that indicate some change will be coming soon. Okay, but there are areas where you can do things differently to bring about the results that you desire. So in the challenge, you have a Page of Pentacles here in reverse. The Page of Pentacles, I don't get the sense that you are a student or still, learning necessarily, although this could more broadly be speaking to learning more about yourself through this process, as opposed to like learning technique, for example. You could be still figuring out aspects of what it is that you're wanting or needing to communicate, or in fact, you could be learning how to manifest and materialize, your art, your message, your artistry in the 3D, so to speak, and then how you actually share that with others. So your challenge is some sort of learning, some level of learning, okay, so that you can reach the world, reach a broader audience here. And in the past, you had a Seven of Pentacles. So I see that much investment has been made for your career. This is an investment of finances, clearly, okay, resources and things like that, but also an investment of energy, of emotion, of time. You've planted some seeds. It appears that it's been some time now. Again, I don't think that you're necessarily new to this art, but you've planted seeds, you've cultivated this garden, and it's been a bit of a process, and you're still kind of watching it patiently grow. You've been very patient. But the fact that we're talking about pentacles here tells me that, again, there has been some materialization of your desires. You're still very much working towards that. You are the Magician here, and this is what's coming in the future. So again, there's movement here in a positive direction. But yeah, you've been here for some time. You've been patient with this. So in the future, you've got the Magician here, and this is one of the best cards, I would say, for what it is that you are desiring, which is movement and creation, manifestation, okay? With the Magician here, you are reminded that you have all of the resources that you need. You really do. Because not everything is about money. If you have a question at all about money, the Magician reminds you that you don't need money. Money is a tool to get us to where we need to be. But people think that they need money. They don't need money. They need to be resourceful, adaptable. They need to be committed. Okay? And they need all of these other things to actually get them to where they want to be. The universe will provide, okay? The Seven of Pentacles also speaks to that universe connection. It'll provide the tools that are needed to actually get from where we are to where we want to be. And sometimes what we need is not so much to know the how, but to know the who. I'm seeing so many court cards here. I do feel that one of the messages here is to network, is to connect with others, connect with mentors that can get you there, especially business-minded individuals, because I'm not seeing the presence of like the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. No, I'm seeing a lot of kind of thought and creativity and inspiration, and that's great. I'm also seeing a lot of emotions here, but I'm not seeing the more mature energy of the Pentacles present here. So my thought is that there's a need to develop capabilities. And again, I'm not talking about technique or anything like that. It's about the capabilities of escalating, of, expanding, of running a business, for example, because we're talking about business here. And I'm just not seeing enough of Pentacles. I'm seeing a little bit of everything else. So at the heart of the matter, what's in your internal space, and my apologies, let's jump back here. We didn't talk about the Knight of Wands here in reverse much. So the Knight of Wands is sitting in kind of like what's in your conscious mind. Okay, this is what you're externally presenting to others. You've got this Knight of Wands here, but he's in the reverse, so there's some kind of delay here, and this is the energy that you're putting off. This is another thing that we have to think about more broadly. The energy that we project, what others can see about us, is driven by what we have in our internal space. Again, speaking with the Magician here, speaking with the Queen of Cups, this is more like internal, and Ace of Cups here. What you have internally, your internal condition, is what's going to dictate your external experience. So you've got the Knight of Wands here in this more external facing card. And this is a very passionate, dry, kind of fiery energy driven, mission oriented, certainly a creative kind of energy for sure. Highly inspired, but I don't see a lot of action. I don't see massive action because this card is in the reverse as opposed to the upright. So while you may certainly feel like you want to do it, you need to change your physiology here. You need to switch it up. You need to take massive action in the direction of your dreams. You need to tap into that inner passion to be able to move things forward, because what I'm seeing here is you're presenting the opposite of that external to you. And again, that means that that's what you have in your internal space. So you're projecting that. Again, internal condition informing our external experience. And you've got the Queen of Swords here in your internal space. So this is what's kind of in heart and matters, what you have in your subconscious mind. And the the Queen of Swords can be a bit of a rigid energy. Okay, so what's going on here exactly? The Queen of Swords is fair, okay, but she's in her head a lot. So she's thinking through things. There's a lot of analysis here, a lot of thinking here. I mean, this is good. This is needed. But swords speak to the realm of thought without action necessarily. Whereas wands is more about that. So it's possible that maybe you have been taking some actions, but you have to change the approach, because if you're taking consistent action, and we are creatures of habit, it's very possible that you're doing something over and over and over, and that something isn't producing results. So you've got to switch the approach. You got to keep trying until you get a yes. So this is about tapping again into that creativity, tapping into that resourcefulness and that adaptability, okay? And looking at other ways of obtaining success. You've got the Queen of Cups here in the reverse. The Queen of Cups is a very self-nurturing kind of energy, and nurturing for others as well. So there could be some nurturing that's required here. It could be nurturing of an idea, maybe, of a passion. It could be reconnecting to that which really drives you. You know, again, speaking of creativity and things like that. Yeah, the Queen of Cups here is also a very intuitive energy. Is there something, I mean, because again, we just talked about being in the head too much. Is there something that you're missing because you're not as connected, intuitively speaking? You know, you're maybe just feeling emotions and going through the emotions, but not really listening to that inner voice, that inner guidance. In the external influence, you've got the Six of Swords. So, yeah, like I just said, going through the emotions, allowing yourself to feel those emotions. I feel like this is an emotional time for you. You could be feeling a lot of frustration and things like that, but there's something that trumps frustration. Innovation trumps frustration. There's something about doing things and being creative that really juices us up. I mean, that's just part of being human. There is something about creating that juices us, makes us tick. And that's something that you're going to have to find a way to reconnect to. You know, with the Knight of Wands, there's an additional message here in that sometimes we have to broaden our perspective on things, you know, really open up that aperture, and travel is a good way of doing that. Travel is a good way of changing our physiology. When we change our physiology, we change our life. We are opened. We open up to new ideas, new inspiration, new, you know, so it's like if you're feeling like you're in a rut, it's because you're doing the same thing over and over and over, and you got to get out of that. You have to change that. And this is how, just reconnecting with that creativity, with that passion, with that drive. So the Six of Swords speaks to an emotional transition, okay? But there is a transition. Again, you've got inner work to do before you can move forward, but you can definitely do it. You know, the Six of Swords is about transition and emotional at that. It's about moving away from things that don't serve you, which could include, you know, self-limited kind of thinking, you know, self-limiting beliefs, things like that, and moving away from all that and moving in a direction that does serve you. And that can be painful. You know, that can be difficult, but you've got to do it because it's how you're going to be able to move forward. Now, in your hopes and fears, I see this Ace of Cups here in reverse. So the Ace of Cups here is certainly a fear in this context because you fear the lack of abundance, the lack of flow, the lack of, you know, things moving. But, you know, the Ace of Cups is also about, and I'll tell you what it means. Like, if you consider being grounded, emotionally speaking, and being calm, and being in a more beautiful state, which is a positive state, but a beautiful state is more than just positivity. You know, false positivity in the head without actual action isn't going to take you anywhere. Your brain is going to reject anything that might be false positivity. You got to actually believe it by programming it into your body. And the Ace of Cups in reverse, to me, speaks to doing that by giving yourself what you need. It's filling your cup first before you try to fill up other people's cup through your art, you know? It's about taking care of you. It's about self-love and things like that. So if you take care of yourself, you really take care of your emotional state, you're going to be able to then turn the energy, the reversal around here. And the Ace of Cups will bring forth abundance and flow. And you've got the Strength card here and the potential outcome card. And again, I just feel that you know, these two cards together, they pretty much say the same thing to me. You know, strength is about tapping into that inner strength, inner confidence. You've got a feminine figure here taming this beast, and she's not doing it by wrestling him. You know, she's doing it by more soft skills, you know, loving it by persuasion, by, you know, inspiration more than anything. And from a manifestation perspective, before I go into that thought, let me just point out the infinity symbols, okay, in both of these cards. These are the only two cards in the tarot that have these symbols. And this is about, again, manifestation, allowing things to happen. It's about cycles and flow. So you've got both of them present here. And the Strength card, for me, from a manifestation perspective, speaks to one of the feminine principles of manifestation, which is allowing things to happen. You've got the masculine principle and the feminine principle. And the masculine is drive, 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 do, make it happen, push, push, push. All right. Whereas the feminine principle is about falling back, actually. It's about allowing things to happen. How do you allow things to happen? You look at evidence that it's already happened before. You have had success before. What did you do that landed you that success? Repeat that. Because how do we become successful and achieve things? We model others that have already done it. Or we model ourselves if we've already done it in the past, right? But inner strength is about the Strength card here, the meaning in the reverse, or even in the upright. To me, it means allowing things to happen, tapping into that more feminine energy of creation, because creation is a very feminine energy. So allowing things to happen. One way to do that, again, is just to look for the evidence that it's already there. It's already been done. So drawing, again, inspiration from individuals that you may want to model. So something that you may want to consider doing as well is finding a mentor, finding someone that can further develop those capabilities in you. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and pull some additional oracle messages for you from the spirit guides here. Discipline, master teacher. So the master teachers do speak to individuals that have mastered their craft. Okay, so again, we just talked about mentors, right? And discipline, having the discipline to make things happen is the message here. You've got loss. Perhaps you've experienced some loss, maybe even financial loss, but the healer guides remind you that they're there to support you as you go through these difficulties. Emotionally speaking, you know, loss is fear-based. Loss is an illusion. Okay, a lot of times it's redirection in the correct or to the correct path. Okay, so we have to look at things. We have to purposefully choose to look at things in a way that's going to serve us and serve our emotional state. You've got restriction. I feel that you might have some self-imposed restriction, limiting beliefs. We just talked about that a little bit. Okay, and the joy guides here remind you that you need to find joy, inspiration, creativity. You need to reconnect with that joy, right? To be able to turn that around. And we'll pull one more for you. Competition. Okay, you know, we are living in a very competitive time, and competitive, you know, I'm sure art is competitive or can be competitive as well. You've got the warrior guides here, though, strengthening you, reminding you that, you know, you've got that inner drive, that inner flame, that inner passion. You can do this. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to, you know, tap into that warrior energy and really show your voice. That's the message that I'm getting right now. Don't be afraid of showing, of speaking, of sharing your voice. Yeah. All right, that's all that I have for you. Thank you very much, and best of luck.